beautiful possibility with the body. As we mentioned yesterday, we can implant this notion of more awareness in the body through our meditation, and we are able also to make that commitment to start observing the sensation of the body deeper and deeper. And Hatha Yoga is a lot about this. We say Hatha Yoga because it is a journey of self-mastery, and that includes body mastery, body awareness. You want to feel always more. So whenever in your class you feel like the mind, just like in meditation, has gone away, not only do you want to bring it back into the movement, the breath, and the feeling of that particular moment, whatever posture or sequence we're doing, but to the best of your abilities, you want to observe the sensations of the body. There are easy to perceive sensations, such as when we're doing certain movements. I'm sure you can feel the skin stretching and folding, the muscles stretching and contracting, some slight movement of your organs. But I want you to open up to the possibilities to what more can you observe that is beyond that. What more can you observe that is beyond the usual, beyond just the skin and the muscles? There are many, many, many things that we can perceive during our Hatha Yoga practice, and we achieve that by becoming, as always, present. And you will notice that the mind takes over because the mind will show you some information. Oh, look, it's this muscle, the skin. And basically, the mind will tell you that's enough, but you can go deeper. The dull sensations become more subtle. A dull sensation breaks down into subtle sensations. And there is more to be said, but I want to let you do that exploration so we can talk about it and see how far we can proceed. So let us begin by coming to our centering, to our center position. As always, settle down the hips, lengthen the spine, open up your chest, opening up the heart. Come to your present moment awareness and stay observing the breath for a few rounds. It takes a few rounds of consciously observing the breath to fully establish yourself in the present moment awareness. And even in this moment, become aware of your body. Do that brief scan from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. Move your attention from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head, and then from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. What can you feel? What can you feel, perceive? Can you feel the sensations? So many sensations for you to perceive. Can you remain centered so as to not to react to the sensations? Take note of how you feel in this moment so that at the end of the class you can check back in and see what has changed, what has happened. Let's do the process for caring for the eyes. Rub the palms of the hands until they are nice and warm, nice and warm. Cover the eyes, feel the warmth of the hands. And gently with a few soft blinks, open the eyes and remove your hands. We're going to begin. Let's release the neck a little bit as we begin from side to side. Head to one side, roll it down and bring it out the other side. Just forward, down into the side. And as you keep moving, keep going and feel. It's easy to feel the sensations, the skin, the muscles. But if you allow the mind to come in, if you allow the patterns to come in, that's as far as you'll go. But you can go deeper. Can you feel your throat? Can you feel what's inside the throat? Can you feel your vertebrae, your cervical spine? Can you hear the sound of the movement and how the sensation on each ear changes when the head leans in one side and the other? There's a change in sound. There's a change in pressure. Bringing the head back to the center, move the shoulders up and down, lift the shoulders up and then drop them, lift them up and drop them. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And the same, keep going with the sequence. And because it's a sequence that you've done before, the mind wants to come in and tell you, oh, I've got this. Don't worry. Think about when you were a child. Think about what you need to do later. But you are in control. Stay in the present. Continue feeling. There's more to feel. You can take my word for it. And that is why I say, as you inhale, and you create that pressure, you squeeze. And when you exhale, you release. And every time you exhale, you drop it, you let it go. Feel, imagine, or visualize that you're letting go of some pressure, some tension. And when I say letting go, it means it's gone forever. Every time you inhale, you bring the power to resolve. And every time you exhale, you let it go. Keep going. It will create courage. Just a few more rounds. One last time, keep the shoulders up. Squeeze. You can also squeeze the muscles of the face, squeeze the abdomen, create some pressure, and let it go. Observe. Don't go with the mind. Observe. Perhaps you can even feel it's almost like someone's dropping some liquid from your head to your shoulders, tingling like ants going through the body, the upper body mostly. Very good. So before we change planes, we are doing just a bit of a sideways release. For I really want you to have some healthy space in your body today. So from cross leg, I just release one of my legs back like this, right? In this, you want as much as possible to keep both hips down. But if the leg that's going back, that hip lifts, I did my right leg, this is somewhat normal, but you should cushion it with a blanket or a block. Now, this other leg that we left open, right? We're going to use our hands as a bit of a lever to go down. And as you can tell, I am twisting. So I am going perpendicular to the leg. I hope you can see it. Perpendicular to the leg, and I am doing this little twist. Just this alone will help you a lot with your back. But we are going up and down a few rounds as we breathe, almost like push-ups, but there's no real power here. So inhale up, of course. Exhale down, belly button down. Help yourself to regulate down. Touch down with the head. Inhale up. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. This one is more unfamiliar. This one we've very rarely done. So notice how the quality of the mind is different because it's not as often that we do this. You may likely feel more present because the mind says, wait a minute, I need to be more present here. I don't exactly remember how this one goes. So there's something to be said about changing things up, of course. I want you to really be present. If you've been sitting down a lot on a chair, on an office desk and such, this is going to help you so much relieve a lot of pressure, a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort in your hips. Just a few more rounds. Now, come up one last time. And again, use your hands for leverage. Feel, imagine, or visualize your belly button and your heart moving towards the center of your hands. So you're twisting a little bit deeper. Bring your belly button deeply in. Try to lengthen forward and go down again. And see if you can stay down for a few breaths, just holding it down. And when you're there, hold the posture, keep breathing. And in this moment, you feel, you imagine, or visualize that you're surrendering, that you're melting completely. Think of falling asleep, no resistance. Think of your body as a child, how easy it is to fall asleep in any posture. The same here. So even though there's no movement now, the breath helps you remain present and feel more and more each breath. You can melt and surrender more and more. So each breath, you are actually feeling that you're going deeper into the posture. The joints give more, the skin stretches more, the muscle allows more space, the body gives more space with each breath. Slowly with the next inhalation, coming up, taking time to release the body. And to do the opposite side, you can easily just windshield wiper the legs on the opposite side to prepare yourself, if so you desire. Right, so from there, again, use your hands as leverage. Turn, turn, turn away from the leg. And a few rounds of going up and down. And please, everyone, do one last time and stay down. And the same as before, you keep breathing. You feel, imagine, or visualize how each breath there is less tension, there is more space, and you can go deeper and deeper. I say that because it's a guarantee. That's how the body works. But is the mind joining? Is the mind accepting the reality that the body is surrendering due to gravity, due to the way the human anatomy works? Can you feel the mind trying to keep its hold over the experience? And please support yourself to come out. Very good. Moving on to our next sequence. 4 points, as if we were doing cat-cow, traditional 4 points. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to prepare our hips. So just a few circles as we go with the breath. You know this one very well. The knee goes forward and up and back and down. But as you go, remember it's more important to lift the knee than to lift the foot. I don't care so much about lifting foot. I much rather want your knee to go up higher than the foot. Complete the circle in close. Do 9 circles in one direction and then 9 circles in the opposite direction. And then you switch to the other leg. 9 circles in one direction, 9 circles in the opposite direction. And do them in coordination with the breath. Inhale to open the hip, exhale to release. Do 9 circles with one leg in one direction, then switch the direction with the same leg, and then please do the opposite leg. Do as Duolingo learning German to say no 4 times. 9, 9, 9, 9. And once you are done, first downward facing dog of the day. And as always, the first one of the day is free, which means you don't get charged for it. Also means that you can do whatever you want in this first downward facing dog, such as bending one knee or the other knee. You can pedal, bending both knees, lengthening more the back. This first one is always for you to feel. And as you breathe and stay in the posture, there are many physical sensations, body sensations. The body is trying to tell you something. What is your body trying to tell you? That it hates this posture? That it loves this posture? That it doesn't feel good? That it needed it? What is the message? Find out. Coming down gently with your knees. Swing your right leg forward. This is the last hip preparation for the day. Hip and leg. This one you know very well. Inhale forward, heart forward, look forward. Exhale back. Straighten that front leg as much as possible. Rinse and repeat. Inhale forward, exhale back. And it's the same thing. Can you feel how the mind is trying to take over the sequence in some way? Can you find a rhythm of breath and movement? How present it makes you, how free it makes you. There's an impersonal, beautiful quality to it. And you know you're not in the mind because you're extremely present and feeling as you do, and because it becomes an exploration. And every time you feel like you can go deeper, and you explore, can you go deeper and how to go deeper? In this way, you will bring life to your body. In this way, your body becomes so vibrant, so intelligent, so beautiful that what I said yesterday in meditation will easily become true for you. You'll be able to feel the sensations much, much more of any of your experience, and you will master your experiences. Please do one last time and stay forward. Roll your toes in from your back leg and lift that back knee as much as possible. Make that back leg very straight, but bring your pelvis down and your heart forward and hold this. Breathe. For the last few breaths, try to hold the posture only through the power of your legs without using the hands. Hands down, you can bend the knee a little bit behind. Once again, downward facing dog. Keep both legs straight if it is possible for you now. Lengthen your back and breathe. Swing your left leg forward. And repeat the sequence from the opposite side. So exhale back and inhale forward. What happens when I remain silent? Do you go back to your patterns? Do you forget the instructions? Even in my silence, can you remain in the awareness? One last time. Forward. Inhale, lengthen. Roll your toes in and lift to enter runner pose. Heart forward. Look forward. Last few breaths. Look, mom, no hands. Downward facing dog one more time. And from then downward facing dog, we are going all the way up. So walk your hands towards your feet or your feet towards your hands. Come all the way up. To a standing position. Very good. And as the day unfolds, so must we unfold. So let us come to a tree pose. Right leg out. Number one, heels together, hips in the center. Number two, above the ankle. Number three, between the ankle and the knee. Or number four, bring that heel all the way to the pelvic floor of the opposite leg. Once you find your balance, hands on center, and inhale to lift. Lock your gaze in one fixed position in front of you. Slowly releasing, coming to the center. Breathe and take a moment to feel it. And we do the opposite side. Heels together, hips in the center. Already here, you're challenging the dynamic. None is better than the other. Only they are different. Option number two, lift the heel above the ankle, between the ankle and the knee, or all the way to the pelvic floor Bring your hands to your chest once you find your center, and please hold it up. Gentle smile. Slowly releasing. Take a moment to feel it. The physical sensation, the experience of the mind, the experience of the emotions. Can you perceive it? Going to the, excuse me, master of all restorative standing postures. Hands on the chest, bend your knees, and step by step or through a jump, we're going all the way to Trikonasana. So right leg 90 degrees outward. Excuse me, here is where you may need your yoga block. So I'm just bringing mine close by to show in case you need it. What was that? Oh, I heard the sound and it was this thing's moving towards me. It seems that the universe, everyone, wants us to lift some weights today. So we may need to lift some weights at some point. Place your block near your ankle on the inside of your right foot. Swing your hips to the center. Inhale and lift the arms. And exhale, go towards the right as far as you can and hold it there. Once you feel you can't go any further to the right, only then do you come down to your block and you open up your chest and you lift the opposite arm. And so you stay in triangle pose, Trikonasana. Please hold it for a moment. You don't do, I do. How are the shoulders in this posture? Are they carrying unnecessary weight? You already know you can hold yourself, your entire body weight just with your legs. So why are the shoulders working? With one big movement all the way up, turning the legs to the opposite side. Place your block if necessary, which I do advise. Inhale and create space. Exhale to go to the side as far as you can. And then coming down to the block. And please hold it. And is the back leg working at its full capacity? Or are you keeping some energy hidden away for some reason? Is that back leg pushing back strongly? Or is it not doing, or is it just not doing its full job? One big movement to go all the way up, release, coming back to the center. Take a moment to feel it. Heels and big toes together, hands in front of the chest. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, you sit in an invisible chair, slowly, trying to touch down with your hands. Bring your hips down, and without lifting the body any further, just your torso. Lift the hands for Utkatasana. If your knees are giving you trouble, please lift your toes. Very good. Now on this one, you may be feeling like you're going deeper, but sometimes the torso just wants to do this, going to the forward. It's more bringing your hips down and lifting. Feel your thighs and push the earth with your thighs to come out. Spread the feet apart. Turn the body from side to side gently. Now you're gonna need a block for what we're about to do. You can also use a weight. So place the block on the front of your mat, as high as you may need it. You will observe in a moment. If you're not exactly sure, then I just advise put it as high as possible. Walk to the front of your mat and take a big step back with your left leg. Here, however, you are turning your hips forward, so it's the opposite of triangle. Lengthen your body, create as much space as possible with your in-breath. Keep the legs very strong and very straight. Do not bend your knees and pull up the right kneecap. Pull up the right kneecap. And from your hips, exhale and bend forward, heart forward, gaze forward as much as you can. Perhaps until your shoulders are here in line with your hips. Perhaps here you can go towards your block. You can also use two blocks for this. Or perhaps your hands touch down. But if your hands touch down, you cannot curve your back. You need to keep lengthening your back. And please hold. You can use a block to help you create more space, lengthening the back. Some of you may be able to touch. You're going to feel the intense stretching of the back portion of the frontal leg, the right leg, which is very, very important. Hands on hips, make your abdomen strong. Push the pelvis forward to come up all the way. Step forward. Take a moment to feel that release. and prepare to do the opposite side. So take a step back with the opposite foot, turn your hips forward. So here you gotta make sure that your right hip goes forward, your left hip goes back. So slowly come down and support yourself in 1 or 2 blocks and lengthen your back. Mm-hmm. And just like in triangle pose, everyone, in this one, the back leg needs to work 100%, even though you may not feel like the back leg is taking as much weight. You may feel more intensity in the front leg as you're pulling up the kneecap. But even so, I want you to feel your back leg, that thigh, pushing back as strongly as possible. The power that you can get from practicing this posture is quite awesome. The beautiful pressure that it creates for your abdomen and your organs is an incredible, incredible benefit. Now bring your hands on your hips, belly button in, push your pelvis forward, help yourself up, take a step, and take a moment to feel your posture. Now we're going back down, all the way down through downward facing dog. You can just come down if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can do the sequence, a tiny little vinyasa, inhale, lift, exhale down, inhale to lengthen, and exhale to jump or step or float so that you can downward facing dog. Now we are sitting in the thunderbolt or the diamond pose, so Baktasana. Very simply, we're going to go up and down a few rounds, and we're going to create a pressure in the body at least. So first is just the breathing sequence, which optional. Fist on the right hand, holding it on the left wrist. Inhale to open, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. You're going to do one last time, and we're going to hold it down. But before, we're going to do an optional adjustment. You can just come down with your arms back. Another option is to use the palms of your hands above your thighs in your lower belly like this and going down like that. And other option is to create a gentle fist with a thumbs out. Gentle fist with a thumbs out, and then you just fold your thumbs. So it's not a normal fist. It's more of a gentle fist, right? So there's no the shape is different, right? So from here, you can use those fists and go down
Whichever option you choose is perfectly fine.
Whether it's your fists or your palms or no hands at all, just hold the posture for a few breaths. Keep holding it and breathe. And just like what we did earlier, due to the position of the body, the gravity, your tissues give more space in each moment, supported by the breath. And I invite you to be a witness to this beautiful experience by truly becoming present. And I hope that you can feel it. I hope that you can feel how the body melts down, how the body surrenders to the earth. I welcome you and I invite you, I challenge you even to find how that is happening for you to perceive it. Whenever you feel the mind taking over, come back. Come back. The last few breaths that we're taking in this posture, even though there is pressure from the posture itself in the hands, you want to make very aware and you want to focus very deeply in your exhalation. You may feel like you can't inhale as normal. This is correct for this posture. Don't try to force too much inhalation because there's pressure. But do exhale. As always, bringing your belly button deeply in, squeezing, using your abdominal organs, your abdominal muscles. You must make sure that when you exhale, you are completely empty, and then you stay for an instant without breath. When you take your next last breath in that posture, slowly coming out, now what we're going to do next, this final sequence, you're going to have a lot of different options for what you're going to do with me today. The key is that you feel your abdomen different and that you feel the abdominal organs different. The abdominal muscles will work. There are many, many ways in which we can do this. We can start here in Stha Dandasana. You can even use supports like blocks or weights to help you make it easier. So Dandasana is one option. Yet you can also do it cross-legged, and you can even also do it in Thunderbolt. What it is about is a intense contraction of your abdominal organs, bringing the belly button in, right, and try to hold it wherever possible. If you cannot lift the body for whatever reason, that's actually not bad. So long as you feel the contraction, you will be able to lift the body in time. So how is that going to happen? What does that mean? So for example, here in Bakrasana, I'm not trying to move my body forward like this. I'm trying to lift the body in and back. So for example, I contract my abdominal organs and I try to lift. If I am doing cross-legged, I'm not trying to push the hips forward like this. I'm trying to keep them in their place or even slightly back, contract my abdominal organs and lift. Or if I'm doing it in Dandasana, again, I'm not trying to push forward. I'm trying to push up, right? My mats actually went with me. Yeah, but I lift, and maybe I can lift the legs too. That is all. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. It's free time for you to practice like this in Dandasana, maybe just lift. If the wrists are bothering you, you should be using blocks or a different hand position or fist or tips of the fingers. Maybe you can be here. This is already, I'm sure you can feel. Maybe you can be here. Or maybe you can be here. So find whichever one works for you and play around with it. If you get tired of one, do a different one. And remember, what you're supposed to do or feel is the abdominal work. Some arm strength is there, sure enough, but it's more about control of your abdominal muscles. Of course, eventually, you want to do half lotus or lotus if available to lift. Now, in whichever you may be practicing, whichever option, you allow yourself to have fun, to explore. Another thing you can do is use your breath. Inhale to rest, exhale to push. Inhale to rest, exhale to push. Keep going. I'm just going to take a little look around. Very good. And I'm sure you can all feel it's a bit of an unusual sensation, perhaps even weird in the abdomen. This is all normal. But as we're practicing this one more and more, very good. You'll notice that it's not as difficult as it looks. It's not as not that intrepid. I don't want to tone it down. It's just not as difficult as it looks, and you are much stronger than you might imagine. Just a few more rounds, trying. Remember, the key is that you feel your abdominal organs, your abdominal muscles. So for example, sometimes here on this one, on the staff variation, we end up working the legs too much. And that's not my main focus today. I much prefer this. If this gives you the contraction, I much prefer that than anything else, right? So last couple rounds, last couple of attempts. Very good, everyone. To neutralize this, go to your bound angle pose, which is soles of the feet together. As always, make sure that the feet are touching one another perfectly. Every toe is touching the other. And hold the feet around the toes or the ankles. Breathe. Gently, carefully, closing the hips. Release one leg at a time. We're going to do a little twist and then restore the body. So for the twist, I want you all to do Pavana Muktasana with straight legs or bent legs, you decide. And just as a reminder, Pavana Muktasana means letting the legs go on one side while the opposite side shoulder remains down. So here my legs are going to the right, but my left shoulder stays down. And we can do this also with straight legs. Once you're there, swing the head to the opposite direction and hold it. And please hold your posture, everyone. Keep breathing deeply, consciously. And make an emphasis on allowing your exhalation to become deeper and deeper, consciously deeper and deeper. Bring the belly button deeply in when you exhale. And let the abdomen rest when you inhale. Take a deep breath, say goodbye to that sensation, to that side. And after the deep breath, take your time to slowly come back to the center. Take one full deep breath in the center and please change sides. Allow yourself to enjoy this beautiful posture in which yet again you have that possibility of being a witness to the surrendering of the body. You allow yourself to be present. You take ownership of your mental activity and keep it centered, keep it present. You can feel gross and dull sensation becoming more and more subtle. Teaching the mind to be present in these moments is extremely important. It is a powerful way to allow the mind to bear witness to the natural law of the universe. Align the mind. Slowly say goodbye to that posture. Take a deep breath. Come back to the center. Take a deep breath in the center before doing anything else. And then please release one leg at a time. Palms of your hands facing up. Rest the body in Shavasana. And you are entering Shavasana, which is the most hard yoga posture. The most difficult one. Keep the mind present. And allow yourself to enjoy being purely in your present, your own presence. No past, no future. Just you, relaxing, free, with complete perfection, with complete fulfillment. You have my permission and the support of a group energy field to be protected in this space and rest, safe from anything and everything. Just you enjoying your beautiful presence and your beautiful relaxation, and nothing more. And slowly breathing in and out. Reconnect with your physical body and your presence in this moment, your presence in the room that you are in. Awaken the body with gentle movements. Breathe, stretch, yawn, move. When you feel ready, come to a seated position. The hips settle down, the spine grows long, the heart is open. I invite you to take a moment to feel gratitude for you are awake today. You are alive today. You are alive today and you have a day ahead of you full of possibilities. So just being alive today is something to be grateful for. There are many, many fruits available for you today. You have to go get them. You have to change your life. You have to improve your life. Can't stay the same. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not here yet. You only have today. What can you do today that will make you feel proud of being you? What can you do today to express yourself today? What can you do today that brings you freedom? Think about it. Gratitude. So many possibilities. Today is the day where I want you to be open to receiving the fruit of the good deeds that you have done in your life. Today is that day. Remember to change your life to what you have learned here and everything that you have learned in your life as well. In this way, we finish today's session. So you can take a moment to do the process of caring for your eyes.